Hey man, say big boss out, boss dog. Can't pull through that door. Here to talk to this box. Fucking my soliloquy. And tough times don't last. Good people do the love self. Caught him in the fall like make me mad at peak game. Metaphors on swing. All right. Caleb played Jermall Charlo are in talks to basically fight 2026. Thank you, Lord, for signing the sign in my car. It's a grudge match. You know, y'all remember Caleb playing and Jermall Charlo had an incident, but you know, Jermall Charlo has some mental issues. You know, on my channel, we don't really talk about the personal stuff, right? They've been kind of linked to each other since the slap, right? So I'm not gonna lie to you. And don't forget we clutched over because I ain't even talking about that boxing. I'm not gonna lie to you. You slap me, bro. We ain't waiting years. You know what I'm talking about? We not waiting years to be fighting. We gonna fight right then and there. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll fight in the ring too. You know what I mean? Like, nah, you not finna slap me and I'm be like, oh, you even look like you gonna slap me, bro. Like, I'm sorry, and it ain't tough guy stuff. It's just like, bro, I'm not, nah, bro. You know, I'm finna lose it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's like, but I understand though, because Charlo, you know, mentally he wasn't right. He was dealing with a lot. He had a lot of personal stuff going on. I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I still perfect. He still ain't recovered. Cause I went somewhere. Oh, we went out to eat. Me and my wife. You know, it was like a new little Spanish restaurant by our house. We go out to eat, and you know, we having a good time. And we see like a group of people. Right? So we like, and they coming from like the back of the restaurant, and it's like a whole bunch of people. I say like maybe 10 to 20 people, and then we see Jermall Charlo, right? And not Jermall, that's the big Charlo. And we see him, he walking with these people. So I was like, oh, there go Charlo. I kept eating. I'm not a starstruck cat. So anyway, like, we keep eating, we eating our food, and like 10, 20 minutes go by. We pay for our food, we leaving. He's still in the parking lot, right? So like, and they leaving in groups, you know what I'm saying? So he got like 2-3 cars with him. So we like behind the group at the light. So like, we end up going to a sports department store to try to get, I think I was trying to get some shoes for my daughter or something. And Charlo ended up going the same way. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he kind of was like flexing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess he thought we was following him or something, I don't know. So he was kind of flexing, you know? But, and paranoid, you know? I was like, man. So, you know, he looking at me and my wife looking like, I start laughing. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? That ain't nothing I do. You know what I mean? But, you know, I don't know what type of life he lived outside of boxing. You know what I'm saying? These fighters, well, these people nowadays, they get money and, you know, they want to be gangster. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never tried to be gangster. That ain't my lane. I done seen too many people get their life taken. I seen too many people go to jail, the feds. You know what I mean? I just got an uncle that just got out the feds. So, you know, nah. Gangster ain't nothing boss trying to be. So, you know, but I get that towards his mental illness, right? I didn't get mad, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, it was weird, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, but, you know, I was just like, whatever, you know, it is what it is. You know, I was like, maybe his mental ain't right, you know? And due to the fact how many people he had around him, I just chunked it up to like, man, he ain't mentally there. He ain't mentally right. You feel me? I was just like, I'm gonna chunk it up to that. So, I think that to get back on topic, I do like the matchup. Who I would favor in that matchup, I think it's a 50-50 fight, right? Although Charlo's still undefeated, he ain't fought, so we don't, top competition, so we don't know if he's still in his prime. I would say that Charlo, out of the brothers, I feel like Jermall Charlo is the more polished fighter, right? I know somebody gonna say, Jermall got all the accolades. Jermall do got all the accolades, but I feel like Jermall has always been the better fighter, in my opinion. Just more polished, offense to defense, you know what I'm saying? More in control, more on balance. I think Jermall, he get wild sometimes. He don't be on balance, right? He get wild with his punches, you know what I mean? Jermall just don't care. He just gonna let him go. He just let his hands go. He don't care about nothing. Thank you, Lord, for signing the sun in my car. Whereas Jermall is more tactical, you know what I'm saying? You see him thinking in there. You see him, reacting, blocking, you know what I mean? I learned a couple of things from Jermall, because Jermall kind of stands straight up, right? So I kind of add that into, my arsenal, because you just never know, man. Nowadays, it ain't like back in the day. You get a little older, you peaceful, nobody mess with you. People nowadays, you peaceful, they want to mess with you. You like, bro, I ain't even doing nothing, bro. Like, it's just a different time. So you got to stay ready, man. So, and those of y'all who don't know, over here on Clutch Factory, I am a former amateur boxer. I ain't got that many fights. I got a couple, right? But injuries and age has kind of derailed, my career. I could have had a very extensive amateur career. You know what I mean? I was a explosive power puncher. I was strong. I was athletic. I'm still athletic. I still can punch, but my body just can't hold up. You know what I'm saying? As far as just, I get injuries that like make you can't fight. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of injuries I get. There's a difference between being injured and hurt. I be hurt. You know what I mean? So, but I like the fight. It's a 50-50 fight. I think Jermall Charlo, man, got a very good chance. I think Caleb got a chance. Like Caleb under Stephen Bredman, I would have gave him more of a chance, but now Caleb's not under Stephen Bredman. I don't know who his coach gonna be. I don't know if he go back to that white dude. I don't know if, I think for Caleb, he need to go with somebody that's gonna add to his style, right? So I would like to see Caleb playing at Robert Garcia, but I think Robert Garcia got too many fighters, right? So, Caleb playing Robert Garcia, Caleb playing and Derrick James. I think Derrick James will be able to help Caleb playing from the power aspect, for him to sit on his punches, because that's the knock on Caleb playing. He ain't got power, right? That's what they say. You know what I'm saying? So I think he'll be able to help Caleb playing as far as being in the fire, in the line of fire, being in them trenches. You know what I'm saying? Only thing is, I don't know if he want to be in the trenches with a Charlo, right? Because Charlo got one of the best jabs in boxing. You know what I mean? So it's a very interesting matchup. You got Charlo, who's kind of flat-footed but athletic. You got Caleb playing, who can get on his bicycle and box, right? But a lot of people are kind of questioning his chin, you know what I'm saying? But it's a good style matchup. I don't know who win that fight, but hopefully they get that fight done. And we can be able to see it in 2026. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Boss go.